I have thought for a decade, and you and I have talked about this in the past, that sort of the entire Trump era is a lesson in what happens when you under prosecute white collar crime. That,
Absolutely.
if you look back at the first Trump administration, if we had sort of aggressively prosecuted white collar crime in the early 2000s, Paul Manafort's not there, Michael Cohen's not there, Donald Trump's not there, none of the Donald Trump kids are there. And now we have an Elon Musk, this guy who has, on a weekly, if not monthly basis for most of the, last 5 or 10 years, been a walking SEC violation.
Oh,
That
God.
he, that sort of the US, 3 years later hits him with a $25,000 fine for. And I think he's sort of a great example of the extreme version of, if the only punishment is a fine, then it's only a crime for poor people. That that Elon Musk is in a position where, what are we going to do to him?
Yeah, that you're absolutely right, and I mean, Elon's violating SEC stuff constantly. An interesting person today, a Silicon Valley person, said to me today, and I was sort of like, you guys, you other billionaires have to get off the mat. You guys can't keep letting him run roughshod. I said, at the end of the day, he'll destroy your companies. You know what he's going to do. And he said, it was funny because he brought up the same thing. He goes, there's not any tools in the toolbox anymore for us to do that. He goes, we're going to stop him from buying OpenAI, maybe. But what happens when Trump says to Sam Altman, you either sell to Elon or bad things will happen to you? That's not an unlikely scenario at this point. And but it's funny you mentioned white collar crime, because my friend said, look, a lot of guys in the Valley took a big lesson in 2008, 9, and 10, because nobody on Wall Street got in trouble. Nobody on Wall Street had the slightest repercussion. One guy had a trivial fine. And the Valley and the money guys in the Valley, of which Elon is more of a money guy than a technology guy, as we know, learned that lesson. And they realized government and the courts are essentially powerless to harm them financially at a level that would change their outcomes.